Welcome to the Keysight video series on BreakingPoint. I am Stephen Duffy, Senior Systems Engineer. We'll be walking through how to build a two-arm application flow, first with clear text, and then we will properly add in encryption. So let's get started. First, click on Superflows. Here you can choose to use a template or build one from scratch. Typically, I would recommend using a template, but to show full steps today, we'll build one from the ground up. So go down here and click on Create New. Give it a name. First, you're going to add the flows. Flows are the protocols or applications you're going to use to simulate the client's action. Today, we're going to make it easy and just be using a basic HTTP flow. Search for HTTP and add. You can go ahead and close. So first we're going to look at some options. So underneath protocol, you have a lot of options to choose from both the client and server sides. You can determine the HTTP port destination, what type of client profile, and then you can also choose the server profile as well. So to get this started, all you're going to do is just click down here and add action. Underneath search criteria, put get, and we're just going to do a basic get command. Click add and then close. This is where you can go and find a detail on the action. If left it alone, we would just send a basic get to the server. What we need to do now is add in the server command as well, because we're sending the get, but we have no response. Scroll down until you see response, and we're just going to do a 200 OK response. You have a basic client sending a get, and then we're also going to be sending back a response. Now on here, what you can do is modify the type of response. You can determine what size of response, but today we're just going to keep it very basic. We're just going to click random response minimum and just going to put in 50,000, so it's just going to be a 50K response back to the get. At this point now, you actually have a full HTTP flow created. After running a quick test, you can see the type of traffic that you have created. As you see here, you see the very top that we do a get and we do an OK and we start sending the transmission. Now to step this up a bit, we are going to be bringing in TLS 1.2 into the equation. To do this, we'll be adding actions to first allow the server to accept TLS connections, and then we're going to add in a TLS request. First go down to action, accept TLS, start TLS, and press close. Now you'll see that these are down at the bottom, but we'll want them to go to the top. For accept, move to action 1. Then for start, we want to move that to action step 2. Now we're going to go in and modify some of the encryption. To do this, you're just going to click down here. In this first accept TLS, this basically configures up the server side. Now by default, we put in 2K certificates for you to use, but you can modify any of these settings, such as TLS 1.2, you can go all the way up to 1.3. You can modify it according to your needs, as well as the certs. You can upload your own to make this more realistic as well. But for today, we're just going to keep with the 2K certificates. And the start TLS, this you can modify for the client side as well. Again, the versions, the certificates, IDs, there's a lot of different variation you can modify on here. But for today, we're just going to keep it with the certs that are defaulted. Now the one last step we're going to do is modifying the server port. We're going to just do it to the standard 443. At this point now, you have fully set up an HTTP secure connection with TLS 1.2. Now I'm going to run a quick test and show you the packet capture at the end of this one as well. So as you see here, we did run with TLS 1.2. You see the clients and then their hellos, the key exchange, as well as server establishing connection as well. Now I did input my certificates into Wireshark so then you can see a bit more of this. With the superflows, you are able to create both clear text and encryption. You can also capture with Wireshark on the BreakingPoint ports itself to validate. Thank you for listening.